Randall in California, who says, I think regardless of anyone's belief, the nature of God transcends human logic. So you obviously
Exactly.
believe in God. So can you start with why you think God exists? And then we can talk about whether or not he can transcend logic.
Sure. Is it okay if I just make a statement and let you guys pick off after that? Because I mean, I feel
Go
like just
ahead.
making a
That's what you're
statement.
here to do. Go
My
ahead.
answer, yeah, my answer to that would be that I'm alive, because rather than nothing, there's something. But life seems to have a purpose. That's my answer.
Okay, so let's start with something from nothing. So first of all, you know that science, our current understanding of science is that there is no such thing as nothing, right?
There's no such thing as nothing.
According to our current modern understanding of physics.
Okay, what do you mean by that?
It means it's been demonstrated there is no such thing as nothing.
You mean they pointed at nothing and then they said that there's nothing?
No, they actually tried to prove that nothing could exist and they failed to do so.
Okay, yeah, because nothing can't be even acknowledged. Like, you can acknowledge it, but it's like indirect.
So how do you then how do you prove that it exists?
I agree that there's such thing as you're saying that they prove that there is no such thing as nothing.
No.
Nothing cannot exist. That is correct.
Well, I wouldn't be so concerned about that because there's obviously other stuff. So I'm just going to go with,
Randall.
there being something.
Well, so you gave three things. I've only attacked one so far, and you've just admitted that you don't have a defense for it. And I haven't even gotten to the other attack on nothing, so on the something from nothing argument. And so the other one is that life seems to have a purpose. How do you determine whether or not something has a purpose, as
Well, if it
opposed
helps
to
you do
just a
something
thing that
else.
it does?
Okay, going off of the purpose one, if one thing allows you to do something else, like a car helping you get somewhere within a different amount of time, I think you can, once that bridge is made, you can say that the car's purpose in that moment was to get you somewhere faster.
So
But in
the purpose comes from a
part
brain, right? A car, because what's the purpose of a car?
So for it to take you places. For it to take you places
Okay.
in a safe manner.
Do people
in
who
a
are
comfortable
racing
manner.
cars around a track going someplace?
It depends on what you're using the car for. The purpose of a
Right.
car,
So the
I mean,
purpose
they're getting
changes
around the track.
depending on a mind, right?
Yep.
But what we're talking about are biochemical processes that happen whether or not a mind is there to observe it, right?
Say that one more time.
Biochemical processes happen whether or not there is a mind to observe it and to apply a purpose to it, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so where does the purpose come in?
Well, I think purpose is something that we labeled. Do you think that there's
I
a
agree.
purpose even without there being a purpose?
So how does life have a purpose? If it's something we label, that it takes a mind to label, how does life have a purpose?
Well, then why is there a life then?
Randall, you're the one positing that life, because it seems to have a purpose, therefore justifies God. I have no idea how you can tell that you're.
I want to understand.
I don't know.
How
I don't.
you guys
I don't
do
know
that.
why. I don't know why you're interrupting me when I've been sitting here quiet and patient, and I got halfway through one sentence. But that's not going to go well for you, I guarantee. So what I don't understand
Go ahead.
is. Oh, thank you. I appreciate you letting me talk on my show. What I don't understand is, if you perceive that something has a purpose, how can you demonstrate that, in fact, that was the intended purpose? And how can you demonstrate that that purpose was intended by a God?
Okay. One of those, I would say, you would only be able to say that after the matter because of the cause and effect. Whether that comes from a God, I mean, the thought alone has to come from the manifestation of those thoughts from other, outside energies or whatever you want to call it. But
Right.
There
Which
has
is
to
why
be
we're asking you to
something
prove
that,
that your God exists. If you can prove your God exists, then you can say that life has a purpose because God gave it a purpose. But you can't do that until you first prove God exists.
yes. What I think in terms of my God existing, I think it exists. Um, I think God is everything. I don't think it's an individual. I
God is a piece of poop in my toilet.
Sure. I mean, it exists.
Okay, Randall, I can tell you right now, I have zero interest in this conversation because these sort of
That doesn't mean you should
esoteric,
worship the poop, though.
because these sort of esoteric gods are absolutely useful. They're untestable. They're unfalsifiable. They want nothing. You can interact with them in no way. And you are just basically using God as a placeholder to say, I don't know or understand a bunch of stuff, so I'm just going to call it God. I only care about gods that people think are actually real, that they are going to then vote on behalf of and pray to and use what that God thinks or wants to impact other people. If you think that a piece of poop is God and you want to worship it, I don't care. This is not the place to waste anybody's time on bong rip theology.
Okay,
Yeah.
hold on. I didn't say
So
that I believed God was a turd. I said the turd is part of life, and God is bigger than life.
I don't care, Randall. I
right,
don't care,
and we
Randall. You have
we
a
don't care
useless
because
God, and I'm not wasting time on it.
yeah, you didn't refute anything
Another
Matt just
factor is
said,
you got to
and
want to
we've
believe.
kicked
That's
two
the
out of
only
the
way
three
things
things
can
you
work.
said prove God. What was the first thing you mentioned? I forgot what it was. So we've been over nothing can't physically exist. Purpose comes from mind. So you have to prove God before you can prove there's a purpose. Otherwise, it's just stuff doing stuff. So what was the first thing you said?
My initial statement,
Mm-hmm.
I believe. You mean what I inquired today with the call, or what we were just talking about?
Oh my
You
God.
know what? I'm satisfied with kicking two out of three of your arguments to the curb. So you don't really have
Okay,
anything
sure.
worth. You have not proven your God exists. I would highly recommend you go back to the drawing board. Maybe go study some actual arguments for God, for whatever
The
God
only
you
way I
believe
could
in. And
prove the only way I could prove that my God exists is that I'm alive. That's the only thing I can prove, is that I'm alive. I have no
you're,
idea
you're
how
alive
Randall,
because
anything
of
else
biochemical
materialized.
processes.
Randall, that is one of the
Your God is
stupidest statements I've ever heard. The only thing that your
Okay.
being alive proves is that you're alive. It doesn't prove anything at all about a God. There is nothing that you've added to you are alive that adds any context to what a God is, what it means, how it contributes to your life. Nothing. You have not
Okay, a
only a
God can
useless,
create,
I'm
right?
still talking. You have not only a useless proposition, but an absolutely stupid argument. Now, you might be an incredibly smart person, and if so, you should be embarrassed that your stupid argument of the only way I can prove God is that I'm alive is a waste of everybody's time, including yours.
right, pretty much.
I don't think that
So
I
we
don't
could
care what you
sum up
think.
that conversation.
I don't care what you think.
well,
It is a
that does
very,
sum up the
very big
conversation.
conversation.
You're alive because your parents had sex. They're alive because their parents had sex.
Right.
That's basically all that you can prove by the statement, I am alive. And
Sure,
that your
sure.
biochemical processes are still going. It doesn't
Wait,
say anything
wait,
about God.
Yes, exactly.
did Randall just
That's what I'm
admit
trying to
that the
say.
only thing he can prove by the fact that he's alive is that he's alive? I thought you said that you being alive proves you're God. Randall, go away.
No, I don't believe I'm God.
Go away, Randall.
No, we didn't say
I feel
that,
like
Randall. Go back and listen to the conversation and realize that everything that you said and we've pushed back on you have agreed with, and so that you have done nothing to prove that your God exists. Thank you so much for calling. Go study
thank you
some
guys.
good philosophy and theology, and try to come back with something a little bit better than God exists because I'm alive. And oh yeah, well, no, it doesn't,
Yeah.
because that's not very good. We'll
Are
talk
there
to you
no
later,
I'm
Randall.
gonna
actual
Have
go
a
do
good
that.
night.
theists? Are there no actual theists left to say, hey, here's the even reasons we've already heard that maybe they haven't heard rebuttals to? If you're calling in to say that God is everywhere or everything, don't call me. Call somebody else. Go to one of those other channels and book a debate on one of those Jerry Springer-esque debate things where people can sit around with no knowledge, no understanding, no respect for the process. When you call in and say you think God transcends human logic, which was the the first thing that you asked about, Jim, that he didn't get back to. First of all, there's no such thing as human logic. There's just logic. The fact that humans are us and that we're the ones discussing it is irrelevant. But if in fact you think that there's a God that transcends our comprehension, then you're admitting that either you have a way that to perceive this that is beyond human comprehension, which, come on, show off, show us your super skills, or that you are claiming to have comprehended the incomprehensible, or to believe the unbelievable, that you have tested the untestable, falsified the unfalsifiable. You have wasted your time sitting around engaged in weak sophistry of, ooh, what if God's everywhere? And what if he's just beyond our comprehension? Cool. When he becomes an identifiable, testable part of our comprehension, call me back. Until then, I'm not interested in things that are beyond humanity's comprehension. And I also like to know how these people understand what's beyond humanity's comprehension just because it's beyond theirs. Because there's plenty of things that I don't understand, but other people do. If there's something that nobody understands, why the fuck are you calling in to defend it?
It has to be something that we can't ever understand, right? Because what we understand now is more than what we understood 100 years ago.
Yep.
So you also have to prove that we can't ever understand it. So,
hey, if you liked this video, why don't you click that like button?
And if you didn't
That's
like
where
it,
you would say,
subscribe.
Okay.
You didn't give me a chance.
There was such a long pause.
What are you on speed or
All right, let's
something? I barely had a
Let's
chance.
try again. Hey, I hope you liked. Hey, I hope you. Fuck. Hey there. I hope you liked that clip. Hey, I hope you liked that clipper just now, the one that you just watched with your eyes. If you did like it, why don't you click that like button?
And if you didn't like it, tell Jimmy to go fuck himself.
Hey, I hope you liked that clip right now. If you did like it, why don't you hit that like button?
And if you didn't like it, go ahead and subscribe anyway.